Hello YouTube, this is Matthew Williams. I'm just doing a little video to explain to you this mysterious phenomena of crop circles appearing apparently within 5 minutes, 10 minutes or half an hour. Well, quite clearly this doesn't happen. Crop circles are put down there in the night and people suddenly get up in the morning when there's low light and they simply can't see the circle is there. So factors that help this phenomena take place that people can't see is you get sometimes early lying mist into the fields. Now the early lying mist will hug close to the ground and it will mean that you're sort of not able to see just below the level of the mist. And in the early morning light, when it's very hard to see, it's just that twilight time, you know, you look out there and you'll see the mist, and you'll see the mist sort of following the contours of the land. It'll actually sort of contour across the land, but you won't see what's just in below it, you know. So when the mist lifts and clears, you'll see what's there. You'll see there's a crop circle there, and of course it'll be getting lighter and lighter as the mist clears. That's one reason. Another reason people say that there are things that appear in short times. Say, for instance, the classic story of the pilot who flew over Stonehenge. Right, there's a number of factors involved here. Pilots are normally looking at landscape. Yeah, they're looking for the horizon. They're looking for other aircraft. So they're already preoccupied by their needing to look at whether there's other aircraft there, and they're more interested in that than what the view that they're giving to their passengers. So what tends to happen is you get a thing called object fixation, which is you're looking at one object as well, and you're not looking at around. So say you're looking at an airfield, you won't be noticing that next to the airfield there's another airfield. You just won't see it because you'll be looking at this airfield and you'll go, that's the airfield I want. You'll completely misidentify the fact that there's another airfield over there and I should be careful. You know, so that's called object fixation. Now, another thing that would cause the pilot of said, Julia set formation to not realise it's there is the direction he's flying. Because direction of flight is very important for when you're looking at a crop circle. Now if you have early morning light or early evening light, these are the best times to photograph crop circles because it creates shadows. The sun being at a hard angle hitting the crop will create on the other side of the crop a shadow, and that's what makes good crop circle photos look so nice, because they've got the shadows in them. Now if you take a crop circle photo when this is the crop and the sun isn't at the side anymore, in the evening, if you take it when it's directly overhead, the rays of light uniformly illuminate the crop circle, so therefore it's a lot harder to see. It doesn't stand out, it doesn't have such good definition. You could see them, but in some conditions, when you're flying around the crop circle in the daylight, and as I am a pilot I do know about this, when you're flying around them, the crop circle will appear on one side, and then as you fly around it'll disappear, it'll become very hard to see, and then it'll reappear when you come out on the other side. So it goes light, dark, and it becomes brighter and dimmer, or almost transparent, so you can't see it, and then it appears transparent and then appears, and it does this as you fly around it. It's quite a common phenomena. Anyone who flies crop circles will know this. Now, some crop circles under some light conditions, if you haven't got the sun out, if it's a very overcast day and the light is coming from all directions, then this tends to be the worst time of light to take the crop circles photos. So what you get then is an effect like I'm going to show you here now, and I've got some examples because I know people go, oh, you're just saying this stuff, and it's like, well, I've got some great examples here. So have a look at this one. This is the Mayan bird which appeared near Barbary Castle. As you can quite clearly see, it's not standing out that much. And if you're flying a little bit further away from it, and you're actually looking at something else which is really big and stands out, like Stonehenge, and you're flying past and that thing happens to be in the field next to you, okay, flying in that direction you may not see it, but flying back in the other direction it may suddenly stand out. Now you think that's a good example. Have a look at this one, right? There's a crop circle in this field. See if you can spot it. Yeah? Can you spot the crop circle? It kind of proves the point, doesn't it? You're flying in one direction, you can hardly see it. There's a crop circle there. It's quite a big crop circle. It stands out under the correct light conditions, but in the wrong light conditions, you can hardly see it. Yeah? Let's have a look. We've got another example. Now, this is directly overhead. during plain light conditions, so it's overcast light conditions. But this crop circle, again, a very big crop circle, that's near Alton Barnes, very hard to see. Now, another factor which affects things, which people don't take into consideration, and may have been in play on the day that the Juliusette pilot was flying over and didn't see the Juliusette, is shadows from the clouds. Shadows from the clouds will obscure an area and can make it, in fact, very dark. So you've only got to have one cloud floating above that area when you're flying, and you won't be looking in there because it's dark. You're only looking in the light areas, and the light areas are so bright and they stand out and they sort of burn your eyes almost, that you've got, you're not going to look into shadow. You're not going to go, oh, let's get my eyes into that really dark, shadowy area because what's in there? Because you won't do that. You simply look at the light areas and you look at the horizon when you're flying, and you're looking for other aircraft. So you become fixated by objects, and you sometimes won't notice that. Oh God, alive! I just get bloody alarms going off when I'm doing these videos. Right. You get object fixation, so much so that you could be looking at an airfield ahead of you and you not realise that there's another airfield off to your left. So you won't notice the airfield off on the left because you're looking at this airfield and you become fixated by it. So anyone who's flying past Stonehenge is looking at the horizon, they're looking at Stonehenge because that's the object. So it's horizon, aircraft, Stonehenge, horizon, aircraft, Stonehenge. Possibly a rather badly lit crop circle on the side, maybe some cloud shadow over there which he wouldn't remember because you don't tend to remember where cloud shadows were when you were flying, and of course you fly past the crop circle and you're looking at Stonehenge in the horizon, and then you fly back, the cloud has moved out of the way, the crop circle is there, well lit, maybe from a different angle, bang, crop circles appeared magically within 15 minutes, and cloud can move a hell of a lot in 15 minutes, a hell of a lot in 15 minutes, If you've got 20 knot winds on a day, 15 minutes, that's about that cloud will move 5 miles, in that 15 minutes. So just work it out. It's quite a distance, 5 miles for a cloud to move. So it could have been under shadow, woof, that time later on it could be, and even if the cloud was moving at 10 knots or 10 miles per hour, then that would have been 10, that would be 2 miles. The cloud would move 2 miles away, which is a hell of a distance, so, and you get 10 mile an hour winds on most days when you're flying. At least the clouds will move that sort of speed. Let's have a look at some other formations. This is a classic. Now, don't tell me that this is not a big formation, okay? Just have a look at this, okay? It's a bit squished, the photo, but here you've got some clouds. Now, what would you be fixating upon? You'd be fixating upon the clouds, the white horse. You might not notice that below the white horse is a 1,000-foot long formation because, you've got to actually know it's there. You've got to be looking for it. And look where there's marks and shadows, and in the actual field, there's actual shadows and watermarks which travel across the field there. And, all these things can confuse the eyes, and it's very easy to overlook. So have a look at this one. This is an idea of some things start to blend in, and the actual colours of the crop sometimes can be quite close. I think I've got some other examples here. Let's have a little look. Have I got some other examples? I thought I had some more, but apparently this isn't letting me have a look now. Don't know why. But there we are. I think I've proved my point that things can become very hard to see when you're in the air, and you can't always be sure. Oh, here we are. I've got some quick ones. I have to be very quick here. This one shows up under certain light conditions, but it's very low contrast. Very low contrast. But have a look at it when you're a bit further up and in a different angle. Okay. Can you see what I'm getting at here? It's almost the same contrast and almost invisible. You can see the left-hand side of the crop circle, which is beneath the circular thing. Can you see the circle and the tree to the left? Well, the crop circle's in the field. Can you see how it almost disappears as you go to the left, And there's actually a light bloom there on the field, which is from the sun, actually shining down and reflecting back up. But I mean, you're looking at that, and your eyes are going to be scanning around the horizon for high contrast items. You're not going to be looking for this. So I hope I've proved my point now, that crop circles are sometimes very hard to see from the air, and you sometimes have to circle around before you find them.